My name is Tom Quiche. I visit Baldwin Park a few times a week, spend money at businesses, and volunteer with dogs at the Baldwin Park Animal Care Center. I'm not here as a representative of any organization. I'm speaking as my own individual capacity. Also, I'm not here to criticize any individual or any system. I'm here simply to be heard. Less than a mile away are nearly 200 animals living behind steel gates on concrete who would give anything to be here and be able to speak. Sorry, inside joke. If you don't know where the care center is, it's down one of the most unflattering streets marked with only tiny signs and teeny tiny fonts. It's sandwiched between a bus depot, an active train track, sewage something or other, lots of barbed wire, and tons of trucks. It feels more like a location for a murder for hire or a city dump than a care center. And maybe that's why so few people seem to care about the care center unless they're going to dump their pets. Because too many intakes and too few adoptions, nearly every week animals are euthanized. And if anyone's not aware of the definition of euthanasia, it's the practice of killing hopelessly sick, injured animals in a relatively painless way. And let me assure you that while a percentage may be sick or injured, the vast majority are healthy, adoptable animals. In the past, I have tagged Baldwin Park News, the mayor, high school organizations, the PTA, PD, FD, Baldwin Park Business Association, all in an attempt to get people to here in Baldwin Park to start caring more about the animals there at the care center. To get you all to consider simple ideas on how to encourage more locals to volunteer, to help more animals get walking out the front door, and have fewer unceremoniously wheeled out the back. I know surrounding cities are also responsible for the challenges at the shelter, like the deluge of animals that are being surrendered or dumped. But it is your lovely city, Baldwin Park, that is becoming known as a place where many healthy animals are dying. In life, we can either put our heads in the sand or keep our eyes open and influence positive changes to help make things better. Now, I imagine you all have limited influences on the shelter system itself, but I believe that you all have the ability to communicate and reach out to your community, and that's where I believe the greatest fixes need to happen. And that pun is intended. Fix our pets. At the same time, you'd be helping staff, volunteers, and animals, turning the Baldwin Park Animal Care Center into something that more Baldwin Parkians can be proud and care about. In conclusion, a great guy who was born on my birthday but 100 years earlier said, "The greatness of a nation and its moral progress can be judged by the way its animals are treated." As a city council, I hope that resonates. Thank you.
Nobody else is looking to speak. At this moment, I will close the public communications and we will move forward with our agenda.
Before we start, I just did want to bring up something about public communication regarding the animal shelter, and just see if maybe we can see what we can do to look into making it, because without getting into further, discussion, because it's not on the agenda, but he brought up some very great points as to what it looks like and what it feels like when you're driving in there. So if we can do something, staff bring something back so that we can see what we can do to improve it, work with the county. I know it's the county's property, but see what we can do to try to address some of those issues that were mentioned. I know we've been having issues and discussions about it, but let's look into that.
Yes.
Yes.
And I do know we had that whole discussion when we had to approve the contract. I know that we are working on services, not just the bed at the park, but also other services to make sure that we are mitigating our need for animal shelter services and to make sure that we aren't exacerbating the problem through efforts such as TNR and things like that. So I know that council's been focused on it. I know that staff has been focused on it. We've all been very focused on it. And maybe a lot of these efforts, you don't see them on social media or you don't see them publicly. And that's because a lot of the times we have to make sure that we are just respecting the process and trying to do our part. It doesn't mean we're not doing what we can behind closed doors. And I want to say that this goes as far back as the first time we were approached with the euthanasia of a puppy on accident. And I think during that time, any of us met with the leadership at the county, and we've been pushing for a lot of that. So we don't see a lot of it, but it doesn't mean that we aren't paying attention or that we're not doing what we want to do. We want to make sure that everybody in Baldwin Park, including our furry pets and their well-being, is priority. So maybe that is something that we can bring back as an agendized item.
Mayor. Mr. Keish, thank you for bringing it up, and it's always important that we point out and we speak for our furry friends, because I have paid a visit there and we have been in conversations, as the mayor said, and it is something that we are dealing with. It's not an easy solution, but everything has a solution. It's just have patience with us, and we will continue. We'll put it on the agenda to continue to work with them. But we have been looking into it since that issue came up about that puppy. And we have done visits to the location, but thank you for bringing it up, because I'm also a pet lover and I feel they should be treated as is they are one of our family members. So thank you for coming up and speaking about it.
Yeah, I want to make some comments as well. And we know that this is a county facility, and, you know, we do try to work with our county allies and representatives to advocate for the animals at that shelter. And we have worked with the county as well to support improvements, believe it or not, at that shelter. But what we can do as a city is just be very proactive about spay and neuter and the education in our community. This is a facility that serves the region, so it goes beyond Baldwin Park. But, you know, as a city of Baldwin Park, I think we have demonstrated here that that is a desire that's, you know, something that we want to see more, you know, spay and neuter so that it controls the population and we don't have to see the euthanization or know that it's happening at the county facility. So I think, you know, you're among kindred spirits here when it comes to the animals. And I agree, you know, let's agendize it and make it very clear that it's a priority for us. What was the other? I also wanted to encourage Ron, if you could speak with the man about the ADU. Thank you. Okay. Is it okay?
Great. And then Enrique, I know we do have some good.
Yeah, Mayor, I wanted to just refresh, and inform the city council that in the interest of promoting further pet care, both at the family level as well as at the shelter level, on September 9th, that's a Sunday, we will have another Vet at the Park event, which are very popular. It does promote and the proper care of all pets, cats and dogs for sure. And then on September 25th, that's a Wednesday, we will have a spay and neuter event, completely free. Both events are completely free, so there is no impediment from my financial point of view. And that is the first of several we believe that we will be able to hold here in our very own city, a spay and neuter event. And over time, we believe that, much as you were saying and our speaker also spoke to, that the fix can be achieved. So, yeah, those are coming up next month, both those events.
And I know in the past they've been very well attended, so.
Very popular.
Also important to note that the neutering event is more than likely just going to be Baldwin Park specific.
Yes, it will be for Baldwin Park residents only.
All right. So at this moment, moving on to consent calendar.